Oh, buddy, here we go. We got all kinds of visual effects going on here. So here it is. Okay, so you can see the impacts there. So as they are farther away, impacts are harder to hear. But as they come closer, much easier. And also, you can hear there in the background. Awesome. Fun. Okay, so we're inside the blood spat effects here. There's two of them. The first one is the particle system, and then the second one is the audio source. I was playing around with this. I decided to go for a custom roll-off. I'm still not sure I love it, especially the blood spatter sound. You get this high-pitched effect further away, and you're missing kind of the thump. I feel like you'd hear the thump before you'd hear the higher sound. I'm sure that's something to do up here. I just need to figure out, which one of these little levers is the one I need to pull. Not an audio tech. Rock impact, same deal. We've got the rock impact and the impact sound. Again, I use that custom roll-off graph. So then these guys are attached to the weapons. It's actually attached to the gun. I have a script here called Impact Handler. And Impact Handler takes the Flesh Impact pool and the Rock Impact pool. So the gun has in it a game object called Impacts, and then these two guys are Visual Effects Handler pools. All right, so yeah, they're Visual Effects Handler pools. And then the gun takes, here we have two object pool handlers, the Flesh Impact and Rock Impact pools. Okay, and then what the Impact does is Impact receives the collider of the object that was impacted, the position of the impact, and the normal of the impact. These three things come from the raycast hit. And then, so what I do is I'll call collider.getComponent flesh. Okay, so if flesh is attached to it, we're going to pull from the flesh impact pool. Otherwise, rock impact pool. Okay, and so I have a script, impact materials, flesh and rock. So this is just a empty mono behavior. These are just empty mono behaviors right now. It's just there to identify an object as being of a certain type. And so the enemy, if we look at our enemy over here, the enemy has the flesh script on it. So when it is hit, when its collider is hit, we're going to get component, and flesh is going to come back as being available. We don't really care if the flesh script doesn't do anything. It just identifies it as basically it's a state variable, right? Sort of. So it's a state variable. Maybe it could be attached to something else or hidden in, maybe with health or whatever. But anyway, this is easy. So the impact comes back um, as flesh, and so then it will run. Here we are. It will run or play the effect at the position or the position with the lookout rotation. We should probably put the lookout rotation up here too. So this is something I added to the object pool handler. I realized that we don't necessarily want to run effects just where the pool is located, like the impact effect needs to run where the impact was. So I took the create object and recycle object and made it so that they took vector 3 position and quaternion rotation arguments. And then we have three versions of the run method. The first one, no parameters, means to use the transform, position, and rotation of the pool handler to generate the effect. Otherwise, we can run with just position, so we'll use the identity rotation. And then the actual main method, the one that does the magic, is position and rotation are specified. And that's what's happening here in Impact Handler, is that we're getting the position, and then we're specifying a quaternion look rotation based on that normal that's being passed off of the raycast. So if we look at raycast here, all right, so I've added a impact event, which is serializable, that takes as its parameters a collider and two vector threes. This is the collider, the position, and the normal. So here we have impact.invoke, collider, hit.point, hit.normal. And so we use this to orient the blood spatter and the impact hits so that they look cool when they're played. And that is the new sound effects and for the impacts. So it also made me wonder, so what I did here in putting the effects on the same object. So the blood splat and the rock impact had both a particle effect and a sound effect. And that makes me think what I should be doing is with these guys up here, perhaps we should merge the audio effects with the visual effects so that we have just one object instead of a bunch of different objects. But then there's a bunch of different sounds up here. So I don't know. There's something there that we might need to look at down the line. Oh, got an error. Is that from parentheses? There we go. Okay, there it is.